We got a lot to talk about. Hey, everybody, good to have you. Thursday night, episode 287. So we come a long way, and we continue to go out and search and see who is demonstrating awesome performance, who's got the awesome sauce. And tonight, I was talking to Teyah before we came live, and I think I can count on one hand maybe the number of interviews that we've had with estheticians, and tonight's historical. I think the last Esti interview I did was with her fearless leader, Felicia McLeod. Teyah Ackley is a six-figure W-2 Esti, and she has branded herself as a brow specialist. I'm going to get her talking about that. Arch Brow Studio, way out in Lacey, Washington. And the summit coach is Victoria Perry. Why does that not surprise me? So we'll bring Teyah out in a second, but I want you to just kind of see where she's been, because her stats are nothing short of astonishing. In 2020, she's got a $58,000 W-2. Look at what she did in 2021. I mean, it went from 58 to 104. She cracked the infamous, the Rubicon, the six-figure Rubicon, and level 6 on the very front end of 30-something. Her average service ticket is 140. She's got a range of her average service day, but I average it out. It's around $1,000. Her pre-book is at 52%, and on any given day, she's, for all intents and purposes, she's booked up. Now, I don't want to take anything away from her story, because I just love her story, but in a nutshell, her timeline is graduates high school in 2008, SD school in 11. I'll ask her what she was doing between 8 and 11. And then she, in 2021, becomes a level 6 brow specialist at Arch, and the rest is history. Now, I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you follow her on Instagram. I'm going to actually see if I can get her talking a little bit about it tonight, and maybe take you on a little field trip, because I just love how she's branded herself on Instagram, not only on her page, but how she is using Arch Brow Studio page. So she uses the Salon's page and her page, and the way there's just a surgicalness to it. And it's just really, I've not ever seen something, you start getting into this work, it's got high specificity in it. And the way that she's really kind of branded herself has been nothing short of amazing. So, and her handle, by the way, if I blew through that, is at Teyah.arch. So DM her. She'd be more than happy to clarify any questions. So what we're going to do is, she's in my green room now. I'm going to get her talking about her life a little bit, and then I'm going to see how much we can get her to share about what she's doing to pour this nitroglycerin on the bonfire. So here we go. We're going to do this, and we'll bring up Teyah here. We'll go full screen, and we will unmute her, and you will make Teyah feel nice and welcome. Hi, Teyah. How are you?
I am wonderful. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, I know. I've been looking forward to this time tonight, and I know you're at the salon now. She had a big day, and we decided, let's come on a little early, because you're going to try to drive home real fast and then get everything. I said, no, we'll go on a little early so you wouldn't have to do this. So I'm so glad we were able to make this work.
Me too.
Well, listen, we always like to start with the story, because the story helps us to get to know you as a person, and gives us an appreciation of where you've been, how'd you get to where you're at, where you're going. So tell us about, how'd you get into the biz? Like, how'd you, from the time you graduated from high school to get into the studio, how'd that happen?
Sure. I was one of those people that had no idea what I wanted to do. In high school, I had told my biology teacher I wanted to be a makeup artist, and he kind of looked at me like, you better have a backup plan. very artistic since out of the womb. And so I worked for this little spa in my hometown, tiny, tiny town. And I wanted to do like makeup on people. And I was just the front desk, and the owners were like, you have to be an esthetician. And even then I didn't know what an esthetician was. So I kind of researched it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is literally everything I love. It's makeup. I was always the go-to friend to tweeze eyebrows. And so I kind of had a good eye for brows naturally. Even in high school, I used to do my teammates in softball. I used to do their makeup. And so I kind of went down the avenue of makeup at first. And then I started working at a bank. And then that's when I went to aesthetic school, and then tried to open my own business and fell flat on my face. I had zero support. I had no idea what I was doing. I was trying to do everything all at once. I was trying to do facials, just all the things. And then I jumped to medical aesthetics thinking that would be kind of fun. I like medical type stuff as well, but it just wasn't fulfilling me artistically at all, or really financially. And so I was at work one day, and my manager at the time was like, hey, have you seen this new brow studio that popped up in Tumwater? And I was like, no. And so I looked at it, and it was like the universe, just everything. I was like, who is this? And this is phenomenal work. I've never seen brows done like this before in my life. And so I don't know if it was weeks or a month past, but Felicia, she had posted she was hiring. And my first thought was, no way. There's no way she would hire me. And then I think it was 1 a.m. in the morning. I specifically remember I couldn't sleep. And I'm like, I'm just going to write her. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to do it. And got the interview. And there's even a funny story behind that I thought I wanted to like be my own, like a booth renter, I guess. And she was like, oh, that's not a good fit. Like, maybe you should look elsewhere. And I said to her face, I was like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I want you. I'm not going to go look anywhere else. You're mine. And I think she was kind of surprised by that. I shocked myself. I'm not a very like too forward person, but I was like, and it worked. And that was when my entire life completely changed in the most phenomenal way.
So you come on board, and I think you told me it was around 2016, 2017. And it's been relatively speaking, a very fast incline for you. Just what happened to you between 2020 and 2021? I mean, you're hanging at 50 something, you smashed the 6-figure barrier. That's a big deal. How has that changed? Like, what happened that's like an atomic explosion. I call it the OMG. Aha. Did you have any insight that kind of like fueled that? Because I don't think I've seen that done before.
First of all, I had no idea until November. And when she told me, I was in shock. I was like, are you serious? Especially with the pandemic going, I just could not believe it. And previously, before even 2020, I think it was I can't remember my 2016, but I know I was at probably 76, I want to say, in 2017 or 2018. And then I moved out of the country. I gave up everything for a boy. Didn't work out. That's okay. And I missed work so incredibly much. And when I came back home, I was like, I poured myself back into it. I rebuilt it again from nothing, in a sense. My clients are just phenomenal in that sense. And just the atmosphere here at Arch, it's just, I have no words.
Wow.
And so 76, and then 2020, obviously COVID came. And then, so yeah, to jump from that, I still am kind of like, oh my gosh, but I have to give it everything to my team, to my manager, to Felicia. What they've done here is, I mean, I'm a prime example of what's being done with the Summit way, with the way Felicia is running everything. And then my manager, Albertina, is the biggest thing.
Yeah, no, I heard two things in that share that I want to underscore. Yes, that the idea that Felicia's leadership, she's a real avid, as you know, follower and supporter of Summit. So, to the degree that you make a commitment to a platform like that, you can see, the fruits. But I think it was interesting that, sometimes life gets lifey, right? And all of a sudden, we're on this thing and we decide to go that way, and whatever that way is doesn't work out. And then we come back. It's like a homecoming, like the prodigal daughter. And it's like, okay, game time. And that sounds like what had happened to you. And it's almost like I want to just have some personal redemption and really be able to look back at this as this was a blessing in disguise. Right?
For sure.
All right. So I did hear that right. And then, like you said, I have not seen another salon that's branded themselves in the specialty type of work that you're all doing at the art. So I can see where the combination of your attitude, your spirit, the culture, the leadership, the brand, all in the same. Well, it's not almost, the universe was conspiring to split the seas for you. So it's just, and I can see there's happiness in you. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. Let's go. So what are you going to do for an encore? Where do you go from here? What do you got cooking in 2022?
I want to keep learning. That's like my biggest thing. This industry is beautiful in the sense that it is always changing, always growing. And so my biggest focus will be on more of the microblading and shading courses. I've got my eye on one in February. And there's other potential maybe leadership roles that I would like to sit in as well, to like inspire people and maybe train. And so,
right.
I don't know.
Well, I'm guided you to ask this question that anytime I'm interviewing someone that not just pretty much doubled their income in a year, but in that same year cracked six figures, and most people never get anywhere close to that after 20, 30 years. How has that changed, whether you want to call it your lifestyle, your standard of living, your sense of self-esteem, self-confidence, anything you want to underscore there as to how this has changed you?
Yeah, like I said, from the very first paycheck I got at Arch, I kind of looked at it and I was like, come again? Like, what? It was just, I had no idea I could make a living off of, it's like the saying, you don't work a day in your life when you're doing something you love, right? I show up and I'm just like, is this a dream? I'm not working. This is like what I love to do. And so with that feeling, it's just, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I told myself I would not do this on a live video.
Well, you're on a roll. You were talking in tongues is what you were doing. It's what you're saying is you're living your dream.
Yes. I had something I was going on with that. Can you repeat the question that you had said?
Yeah, that kind of where you go from here. What's next?
Oh, how my life is.
Yes, how your life has changed. From the outside looking in, you got a lot of money. Or I would say you're probably earning more money than you've ever earned in your life. That is new, where you're thinking about, okay, how is my life different now that I've got more fuel?
Yeah. So I'm really big on saving. I have the luxury of, if I want to take a trip, I can take a trip. I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. It's just a feeling of comfort. I can do nice things for people I care about. My schedule is flexible as well, which is really nice. So it's just a freedom, right, for sure. And knowing that I did it out of complete just passion and pure love of what I do. Yeah, it's apparent as I look at you, listen to you, that you are absolutely loving your craft and the experience that you're having, engaging in the craft and the fruit that's yielding. So I can imagine that on a regular basis, you're pinching yourself saying, like, is this a dream? Or because all the time. Yeah, most people would say that's not my experience of work. My experience of work is, it's a punishment for a crime I didn't commit.
And you're going, no, that's not my experience. It's heavenly. So kudos to you. I want to get you talking. I want to pivot from the story a little bit and get you talking about some of the services that you're specializing in, how you've branded yourself in, because people, I'm sure, are trying to figure out how in the world did she crack six-figure? What kinds of services is she doing to yield that kind of income?
Yeah. So my big ticket is the microblading and shading. And so that's where I put a lot of my serious work into to make sure it's, top notch. I'm offering the best that I possibly can. Brow waxes, and then all the add-ons that go along with that. So brow henna, brow lamination. And then I also do lash lift and tints. And so I am an artist here at Arch that doesn't do lashes, but we kind of can bounce off of each other. If a guest doesn't want extensions, they can come to me and I can do a lash lift and tint. And so really it's just a few really awesome services that we are trained to, do our best in, and works out wonderfully.
So those, like I'm taking some notes here. You're kind of, I feel like I'm being tutored by you. So of course, microblading, shading, what did you say? Brow lamination, and then you
Brow
did
henna.
brow henna. Is that what, did I hear that right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
it sounds like there was one or two others that I heard that they sound very specialized. And what would be what you would charge for one of those higher end services? Give us a financial range.
So it's $825 for the micro shading and $725 for the microblading.
Wow! So we're talking a $725 to $825 range. So that all of a sudden people are going, okay, I get now how she's, what she's using to kind of get her there. When you would book a $725 or an $825, how much time would you allow for that service, or does it happen over a series of visits?
So it's 2 appointments. You do a first session and then you do your second session 6 weeks later. And the amount of time is about 2.5 hours.
Got it.
So
if you put, is that the total amount of time, or 2.5 hours per visit?
2.5 hours for the first one. And then the second session isn't as long. I want to say it's about an hour and a half.
Got it.
2 at most. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and they're pre-blocking my schedule.
So I'm kind of doing some arithmetic. Looks like it's a 4-hour total. Yes. From session 1 to session 2, happens inside of 6 weeks between 1 and 2. The ticket charge is, let's say it's around $800, right? And so that's if I'm looking at it right, that's almost, you're generating $200 an hour in service. So all of a sudden, guys like me, it's like, okay, this is looking less mysterious. How did you brand yourself to special? Because those are real kind of specialized services for estheticians. That's not your typical brow wax.
Yeah, I know Felicia. She is just, I'm her biggest fan. She had said to me when she hired me, don't try and be good at too many things. Focus in on something and be just really, really good at it. And that spoke to me. And with the brows that I had seen her doing, and I was like, I want to do that. Like, show me. And working alongside her in the beginning, just alongside her, I got all of her knowledge. And so with both of us kind of coming together, we really created something that caught people's attention. They were like, wow, like these brows stand out.
Yes, I'm actually holding my mobile so that people can, just your grid, and a lot of your grids are slides. So if you touch it, there's a couple of slides to look at on your content. There's one here, there's six slides in that. So each one of them each slide it's almost its own story. So I've not ever seen work like this documented in a way where it really not only it would answer questions, but I would be compelled to go, ooh, that looks like something I want to do. So what percentage of your new clients that come in as a result of being on your Instagram page and kind of scrolling and seeing the work going, oh my God, right? What's that like?
I can't say an exact percentage, but I always ask my guests, how'd you hear about us? Like, what brought you in? And I will say a large majority will say, oh, I saw you on Instagram. I went to your Instagram. And so I definitely know it's working. I must say that with my personal account,
Yeah.
I always tag Arch, and then Arch always shares my work on their story. So then Arch's over 5,000 followers will see, and then say someone's like, oh, I like this brow. They'll click on it. It'll take them to my Instagram. So it works beautifully and amongst both accounts.
Well, yeah, you said a whole bunch there. I want to just unpack a couple of the parts. So you'll document the content and you'll tag Arch. Arch then not only puts it on grid, but puts it on its story for the day. And then there's a link back to your page, and all of a sudden it's a 1 + 1 is 10.
Exactly.
Right? The other thing I'm curious about is, and people like you that are using Instagram, they'll go, a lot of times it's almost like there's 2 or 3 touch points before an appointment's made. One is they'll either see the work on Arch or mine or both. And then that second touch point, a lot of times is they'll DM the Jedi. So all of a sudden you get a DM from who knows who, but they're asking you questions about something that they see. Is that what happens in your world as well?
Yeah, for sure. I'll have random people just say, hey, I saw you. I was looking up, brows, and Arch was the first one to come up, or, they'll see my work on Arches. And so, yeah.
Do you, like hairdressers sometimes, well, a lot of times now it's becoming a norm where a client will actually take a screen grab of some content on their page, send that in as inspiration work, and it's right from their page. And then sometimes they'll even send in a selfie. I'd be curious to know, do you ever get any kind of dance like that with eyebrows? Or and if so, what's that look like?
Are you meaning like, do people bring in inspo of brows?
Yeah. So all of a sudden, in addition to DMing and asking about you, they'll actually take a screen grab of your content and go, and they're asking. So that happens. That's part of your rhythm. Yes.
Yes.
Now, here's what I'm curious, and I haven't asked you. I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this question. It just kind of came up. Do any of them take a selfie of their brow and DM it, or does that get kind of out there for them? Is that too goofy?
No, they do. You'd be surprised. Yes.
They do. Oh, they do. Oh my God. I'm actually just kind of intuiting. I was curious. I'm getting goosebumps now. So that does happen.
Yes. And more so it's like, hey, this is what my brows look like. Can you, what do you think?
Oh my God. Talk just a little bit about that, because I've never heard of that before.
Michael, brows, I told 2 different clients today, with the weather happening right now in Washington. It's snowy. The roads are dangerous with COVID. I feel like there could be another serious plague, and people will still come in and want their brows done.
Yeah.
Like, since I've worked here, like, people take their brows very seriously. It's the new, I don't think it's going anywhere, which is great.
Right.
It's my job.
Oh, well, I've been watching it. Yeah. Well, I've never geeked out with an Esti to the degree that I'm kind of geeking out with you about how this, and just from how people communicate. Like, I'm learning a lot tonight I had no idea that someone would value that look, that their brows would be so important that they'd actually put a mobile up, take a selfie, send, and that's personal. Right. and you're saying, no, that's kind of sort of how it works. And that it would be so important to them that they would make that investment, a $700, $800 investment. So other Estes that are just all that, because a lot of Estes are just doing eyebrow makeovers, eyebrow waxes, right? They're kind of taking, they're splitting unibrow in half. Right. And you're going, no, this is an art. This is a business. And you've really, really turned it into, you are to the business with like a brain surgeon is to medicine. You really have specialized it. So kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I want to ask you one last question. I'm going to let you get on with your evening. I'm just curious. There's a people that are watching tonight. And then there's going to be a lot of people that'll get the rewatch. It'll live on various platforms. And trust me when I tell you, they're Estes, but they're nowhere near where you're at yet. Right? And they're at where you used to be. So you've got both sides of this thing covered. And they're going, okay, I wonder if I just kind of made up my mind to like focus and went for what she went for and got. I wonder if I could even be in a place that's anywhere close to her, but they're not sure. I call it that the holy jumping off place. What might you say to them that might inspire them to just like take the shot?
I think I'm a prime example of what is achievable. Again, when you hone in and you take your work serious and there's so much extra education out there. If there's something that you're passionate about, but you're kind of, it's like, take that time and like learn it and perfect your craft. It never stops. You should never want to stop learning. And the reward is literally wonderful.
I love it. Felicia's on and she says, she just put a message. She said, Michael Cole, let us do your brows. I'm a little bit embarrassed because, we're all kind of still in and out of quarantine. So for the last year, I've been taking this bulldog electric shaver, shaving my head. And sometimes I'll get angry because my brows are bushy. I'll shave my brows. Right. But by the end of the day, my brows are back. My brows grow real fast, but it freaks out my grandchildren. They're going, Grandpa, you don't have any eyebrows, And so I'm here tonight. And she says, Michael Cole, let us do your eyebrows. So good stuff. Thank you, Felicia. Listen, promise me you'll come back for an encore because I think you're just warming up.
Oh, I'm coming for 2022. Like, I'm going to make more things happen for sure.
Yeah. Good. So we'll see you. I'm going to give you probably a quarter or two to keep cooking. I'd like to get you back probably halfway in June, July. Maybe I'll have you and Felicia back together and it'll be kind of a tag team of 1 + 1 is 10. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
All right, my friend. Thanks for coming on. And it's really inspiring to listen to you describe and give us a piece of insight about your business. It's just dripping with potential. So I think you're going to help a lot of people. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. We're going to give it up to Teyah one more time, you guys. I'll be in touch, Teyah. You stay well. Have a good evening, okay?
You too. Bye.
Bye. Holy back buckets. You guys, did you hear what I just heard? First of all, whatever appreciation I had for the potentiality of not just esthetician work, but brow specialty. That's like there was an Academy Award for the best kept secret in the esthetician field. Don't look now, but I think tonight's interview would the secret's out. So I hope that people that are either watch tonight or are going to be watching really take to heart some of the things that she's saying. And what I really loved is, Instagram now it's changing on a daily basis. And you heard Teyah say, yeah, look, look at my grids and look at what I'm doing and how I'm kind of branded myself, but people are DMing me and they're taking a screen grab of my work, DMing that, and it's so important to them that they're taking selfies, you guys, of their eyebrows. So I'm not an Esti. I mean, we know that that's kind of a norm now for hair, but that tells me more than you know about how important this is to people. And the ticket price, $725, $825. I had no idea. So I would consider her and Felicia true innovators. They are kind of predicting the future by innovating it, creating it. So what a wonderful what a wonderful thing to show us. Now I wanted to let you know that tonight's interview will continue to live on this page. We'll do some editing of it so that it will take out the back end, the front end, so that it really is, it's a kind of a cut to the chase. But it'll live on Michael Cole Millionaire Stylist. And then what I'm going to do is I will take it to my Instagram page. It's the same page, Michael Cole Millionaire Stylist. And I think we're going to break this up into maybe 2 or 3, 5-minute micro learnings. Put it on my IGTV feature on my Instagram page so people can kind of watch highlights. So look out for it there as well. When you're on my IG page, you'll note that I use Linktree in my bio. If you hit it, there's a link called Behind the Chair Millionaire Calculators for various ways of goal setting, whether you're setting an annual goal for yourself, and the artificial intelligence breaks it down to what your typical day would need to look like based on the number of clients you're serving, etc. We got a goal setting calc by saving money. I think I heard Teyah talk about, saving money, that she's, now not only hitting a 6-figure stride, but wants to build security and wealth for herself. And that's called Golden Goose. And then an opportunity. Some of us are plagued with debt. So as we start growing our income, setting some debt reduction goals for ourselves, all of that is compliments of L'Oreal PPD. So please take us up on that offer as well. There's probably one of the better kept secrets at Summit is there's another .com called SummitSalon365.com. And it really is streaming our higher end production value videos, more video coursework. And there's 6 or 7 pieces of brand new content on that platform that'll just knock your socks off. So get on it. There's an annual subscription fee. I think you can even pay it monthly if you'd like. But I just absolutely love the content on that platform as well. If you haven't if you talked to any of our coaches lately, I think we're at about 70 or 80% now of our coaching is happening online, just because of the challenges with the pandemic. So we would be more than happy to give you a 30-minute virtual consultation to just talk about what's possible. It's just amazing almost on a daily basis, talking to salon owners about how this is transforming their business. That is the Summit platform. So take us up on that. If you're interested, call our 800 number, set up the appointment, and we'd be more than happy to accommodate you. And then last but not least, we always like to express gratitude. Summit Salon Business Center is the exclusive business partner of L'Oreal Professional Products. So, we have all of the brands from Biolage to Pulp, Riot, Kerastase, Pureology, L'Oreal Professional, Redken, Matrix, Hue, and Mazzani. When you support those brands by using them and then encourage the people that you serve to use them, that puts L'Oreal PPD in positions to continue to support and sponsor the work of Summit Salon Business Center so that we can continue to bring you content like tonight. So please express gratitude for them. We'll give it up for them, but as or more important, support the brands. They're important. All right, listen, it was a great evening. I'm going to let you get on with your life this evening. Happy New Year to all. And we will be back at you for another one of these for Monday afternoon. So we do one on Monday afternoon, and then we do Thursday evening as well. So kudos, and we'll see you next year. How's that?